Hello, rollers, and welcome to the Roll Report. It's a little weird to be on this side of the table. My name is Hannah, and I am your dubiously diabolical DM. I am joined for the first time by my Amorous Acolytes. Say hi, Amorous Acolytes.
Hi, Amorous Acolytes.
Jingly,
Ayo.
Hi, guys. You may recognize my voice. Don't change your dial. Nothing weird is happening. We have paused our main campaign to allow us to be hosting a series of one-shots with rotating casts and rotating DMs. And so now I have gone from player and social media manager for this particular podcast to GM for the day. And anybody tuning in for the first time, you do not need to have any familiarity with our main campaign in order to tune into this one. A one-shot is designed to run for just one session. This is a story that'll take place over just one night, and running one-shots like this gives us the opportunity to explore stories in Sea Shallow and beyond. But before I get into that, I'm going to introduce my friends who are playing with me tonight. Why don't we go around the table? I'm looking for your names, your pronouns, and who you'll be playing today. Let's start off with Kaya.
Hello, my name's Kaya. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Rose Align. A druid, mushrooms, circle of mushroom spores, and fairy. Who doesn't speak, which will be fun to do on a vocal podcast.
I'm so glad we're bringing muteness to a vocal medium.
Yes.
I think it's going to go great.
Like we often say, we have the faces for radio.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we do.
Let's throw it first to Ben, then to Colin, then to our new friend who's joining us. No spoilers.
All right, this is Ben. I am use he him pronouns. Ooh, nailed that opening. And
We're pros.
today I'll be playing Hadrian Warsinger of the clan Warsinger, and I'll be doing my best Irish accent. I think it's the only accent of the British Isles that I haven't used thus far. So, after this, I'll have to work on my Welsh accent. And that one's going to be a little harder. So anyway, if I slip back into other British accents, just remind me. I'll do my best. Hadrian is a halfling bard. He's the 11th son of House Warsinger. He plays a war gong, formerly in the halfling battle corps, and now he's given up his life of violence and murder and that sort of thing, and he's living on this lovely island trying to pursue peaceful pursuits of that sort. So that's me.
Fantastic.
Hello, I am Colin. I am excited to, again, not be on the first mic and head of the table here. I use they and he pronouns, and I will be playing Taj. Taj is a loxodon, a very large elephant person. And he is a barbarian. He is a zealot barbarian. I don't know how much do we want to go into like who they are at this point, or
Dedicated to the goddess of love, is he not?
He is. This is a fairly recent change for him in the last 6 months. Taj was a pirate. Hello, cat in the background. Taj was a pirate for most of his relatively short life so far, and his ship was burned, and the rest of his crew were killed by a rival, and he washed up on the shores of the island that we'll find out about, and was taken in by the temple about 6 months ago.
Excellent. Going from a fighter to a lover fighter kind of split, maybe?
Something in there. He's having
that.
a bit of a tough time, honestly, but he's determined and trying to make a change.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
And now let's throw it over to our new friend who is joining us for the first time. How are you, new friend?
Hello, my name is Monk. I'm doing pretty well. I use they, them pronouns. or he, him, if I'm feeling spicy. I am playing Mercutio Highstep, who is a Harangon or a rabbit folk. He is a traveling entertainer who just likes to have fun, very happy-go-lucky, and he traveled from ship to ship until he landed on this land, and he has been here for 2.5 to 3 years.
Very nice. And me, playing your DM tonight. My name is Hannah. I use they, them pronouns. I'll be playing, everybody else.
Yeah.
And in the spirit of what we're doing here, I'm just going to jump right into it. Our adventure today does take place.
Wait, I see a hand.
Hold on.
There's a hand.
Kaya, there's a hand.
Yeah,
Kaya,
I
what's
didn't
up?
give any background to my character's
Kaya, do you
background story.
Sorry, do you want to share a little bit about
Yeah.
Rosaline?
Rosaline is was captured by pirates. In fact, the same pirates that Taj's crew was part of, and then she managed to escape despite Taj killing the person who helped her escape. And the winds took her to this island
Yes,
like 2 years
indeed.
ago.
Drama already between all of you. Well,
Session 0 was useful.
Session 0 is useful, and also it does make sense based on where we'll be going. Our adventure today does not take place in the island of Sea Shallow, but it does take place in the Pentelamar Archipelago, the same world as Sea Shallow, but far flung from it. To set our scene, this story will take place on Split Island, a tiny island split in half, as the name implies, which with each half owned by a different feuding family. About 10,000 people call Split Island home, most of whom live a bucolic existence, fishing in the sea, tending sheep, and keeping apprised of the latest gossip. The weather here is mild, warm in spring and summer, and rainy in the wintertime, and the land is green and fertile, with rolling hills and natural springs providing clean water. Farming is good, and life is relatively easy. A narrow channel flows between the two towering cliffs of Split Island. In the middle of that channel is an even smaller island, a tiny spit of land in the shape of a heart that holds the Temple of Aline, that you all call home. But Split Island has a problem. You see, the only way to travel from one half of the island to the other is a ferry that runs through the channel once a day. Strong winds and currents through the channel make travel impossible, except in the early hours of the afternoon, which is about as inconvenient as modern convenience gets. And all that could be solved if only the two families that own each half of the island would agree to build a bridge. Split Island is owned by the Kelpulettes, a family of master architects and timber moguls, and the Montagues, a family of master engineers and steelsmiths. And these two families, so alike in dignity, have been fighting over God knows what for about as long as there's been a Split Island. But the residents of Split Island are hoping that might soon come to an end. You see, the heirs of each family, Mario Montague and Yulia Kelpulette, are set to be wed in your temple by your mentor, the Asimar priest, Odinine. The future of Split Island rides on that wedding going smoothly, and it is off to a pretty rocky start. The Kelpulettes and the Montagues arrived by ferry on your tiny island yesterday. And from the moment they arrived, they have agreed on absolutely nothing. No one is happy. There have been endless complaints that your mentor, Odinine, has spent countless hours, it seems, trying to resolve. You see, you four are acolytes to the goddess Aline, the goddess of love in all its forms, and you call this temple home. This place is old, humble. It's not particularly big, but it is well made and well maintained. It is made with now pockmarked white limestone, decorated with tapestries of pink and gold, and large curtains of flowers that, Rosaline, I am sure you help to maintain. Crystalline pools run along the paths that thread through the temple, and the temple itself is composed like a heart with an east wing and a west wing, abutting the main hall, where in the center of which there is a statue to the goddess Eileen in all of her glory. And your guests have been put up in the east and west wing, a necessity when the ferry only comes but once a day. The island itself barely has enough room to house both the temple and ferry dock. You are up a very short hill from the ferry dock itself, and you four do not live in the east and west wing. You find your home nestled next to the kitchens in between the two wings, a sleeping quarters for the four of you. And while Odinine tends to attend to the needs of your guests, you four tend to work more in the background, custodial duty, gardening, taking care of things that don't necessarily demand that you interface with the common folk in a huge way. Odinine is also often tasked with throwing celebrations for people's big events in life, including funerals, and also helping people work through problems in their relationships. She is coaching all of you in that subtle art, but she is also focused on making this a good home to the four of you. So as wedding preparations went on last night, what do you four think the last thing was that you did before you went to bed to get ready for the wedding tomorrow? Odinine has kind of been fielding, the customers from hell who keep coming down to the service desk to inform her that their room is too sunny, too fragrant with flowers, too much incense. The beds are too soft. What do you think the four of you get up to? The last thing that you do before you finally turn in for the night, because you can see from what Odinine is dealing with, it is going to be a late one that you do not want to be involved in. You do not want to have to deal with these people.
I, of course, have been playing my bagpipes and bird pipes. I've been practicing because, of course, as Odinine's assistant and musician for the ceremony, it's very important for me to make sure that all of my instrumental capabilities are top notch for the ceremony.
Yeah, Hadrian, what do you look like as guests file in and see you practicing? What do they see? Well,
I'm dressed in very elegant finery. I've given up my war gear days for something much more delicate and flowing and pleasant, and you can see it sort of ripples in the breeze.
Oh, most fetchingly, I'm sure. Odinine comes over to you, Hadrian. I imagine. Do you think you are the first to turn in, or do you think you play late into the night?
Well, I try not to play the bagpipes too late. It being not good for everyone
in accordance with local ordinances, I would imagine.
That was something they had to convince me of.
The bagpipes again.
Okay.
Right.
I'll go.
Well, on my home island with the other halflings, of course, I used to soothe them to sleep with the dulcet tones of my bagpipes. But here, I've been told that that's not as well accepted, and therefore, if I want to play late into the night, the bird pipes are much more appreciated. So I sit in my little chamber and gently tootle on bird pipes.
Yeah, Hadrian, I think you see Odinine come in. She visits with you first. Odinine is the head priestess of your island. She is 75-year-old Aasimar. Like most Aasimars, she resembles. It's hard. Aasimars don't have necessarily a recognizable physical structure. They don't have horns. They don't necessarily have tails. They usually resemble a different race. And Odinine very much resembles a very tall, willowy human woman. But when you come near to her, she has like kind of this exuding aura that comes off her. She has this tawny brown skin, silver hair that she keeps up in a conch clip that has kind of the speckling of a conch on the outside and the flushed pink on the inside, and a face that has smiled so much that it has wrinkles just cut into every piece of it. When you are near her, all of you experience this feeling of just complete warmth, safety, and unconditional love, very much like a grandmother. Whether you had good relationships with your grandmother or not, I think you all have this kind of instant feeling of unconditional love with her that you experienced from the first moment that you met her. And as she comes in to check on you, Hadrian, she says, "Oh, good. I wasn't sure if I was hearing if it was a hallucination that I was hearing you play, or if you were actually playing it. There's so many people in the temple for once."
Well, yes. Well, as I play dulcetly and gently, some people
Very
imagine
much both,
that
yes.
they've heard the music on the breeze, and maybe it's been called in from the oceans and the trees and the waves.
Yes, you have a very natural way of playing. I don't know that I've heard bagpipes played in such a way that they insinuate themselves into the very notes of the breeze. Do you need anything before tomorrow?
Oh no, I think I'm in a good shape to make sure this ceremony is just as glorious as any of the others that we've done together these last few years.
Yes, I know I don't need to impress upon you the importance of what we're doing here, aggravating as they may be.
Right, exactly. If we can replace this feud with love, everyone here will be far better off.
I agree with you entirely. Thank you, Hadrian. Please get some rest.
Oh, I will. I at this point I feel very comfortable with where I'm at, so I think I'll sleep like a baby nestled in a little tree limb, surrounded by birds.
The extended metaphor helps me imagine it perfectly. Thank you. And she gives you a squeeze on your shoulder and departs. And after noodling for a while, you do find it relatively easy to bed down. I actually imagine, Hadrian, it is not hard for you to fall asleep to the sounds of on either side of your quarters, people arguing in big echoing rooms that you can hear easily. I don't imagine that that's an experience that's completely new to you.
Right, I'm from a very warlike clan, so late night arguments are part of me upbringing.
Excellent. Rose, what do you get up to? Is the last thing that you do before bed?
I am finishing the bouquets and the
Boutonnières, corsage. Ooh,
the corsage. Well,
Yeah.
the thing for Romeo.
The floral decoration for the groom.
Correct.
Which is a thing that I know the name of.
Yes, that thing.
That thing.
So she is trying to put poison ivy secretly and subtly, and have tiny little thorns that would be missed by both the groom and the bride.
Rose, as you are attending to this, you get this
And
feeling,
I'm kind of humming to myself.
Yeah, you get this feeling kind of up the back of your spine that tells you are being watched doing something naughty. And that maybe you've been watched doing something naughty for a little too long as you kind of spin around and find Odinine there. And she's just watching you expectantly, not what the grandmothers do. She kind of looks at you and she looks at the boutonnieres that you're working on.
And she smiles at you with her big eyes and like kind of like twizzles her leg.
Rosaline.
And then she like puts her arms down and like makes a big grump and kicks the ground.
Yes, I know it is very difficult. You are working through some very difficult emotions now, I realize.
A big nod.
Mm-hmm.
And she grabs a petal and starts like breaking it up into tiny little pieces.
All right. I think that's the best way to work through that. I don't think that adorning the floral arrangements with things that might incite an allergic reaction in the groom are appropriate. Please remove them.
She like goes over and starts to unwind.
Mm-hmm.
And then she takes a bite out of one of them.
Well, I can't possibly discipline you for that.
She smiles.
Okay. Is there anything you need before bed, my dear?
And she flies up into your hair and kind of like settles.
She reaches up and like gently pets the back of your wings. It's all right. I know that lost love is difficult for everyone, especially fairies. Very big emotions for you.
And then she starts bawling.
Oh, darling. Oh.
Big spigots of,
tears.
big cartoony tears just like spigot out.
She takes you down from her hair and gently cradles you in her wrinkled palm and strokes your back. And she says, it's all right.
Grabs your thumb.
Yes, it's all right. I think that your abundance of feeling is very sweet and indicative of a large heart. I would say that the young man, I understand your previous attraction to him. Maybe not continued, but past. I do understand. Before you saw sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Rosaline's nodding emphatically. Like, yes, I have seen sense. I am smart.
Yeah. So smart.
You are very clever, very capable. You will endure this. You can survive it. You are strong enough. Mind yourself, please. Just until we get them out of here. Then we can process everything that you're going through. Okay.
Jingles.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you sleep, Rosaline? What is your little? I'm imagining like a little fairy bed for you, a little Thumbelina.
Yeah.
Like.
So outside, they're in one of the pools. There are lily pads, and she has turned one of the lily pads into her home.
That's so luxurious.
Yeah.
That's so bougie. Look at you go.
Well, she was a noble before getting captured.
Odinine carefully pulls the lily pad a little bit closer with like a little wave of beige hand and gently sets you down and tucks you in. And she says, "Good night, my dear. I'll see you in the morning." And she gives you a little kiss.
Sparklies.
Mercutio, what is the last thing that you do before bed?
I am actually watching Odinine bring Rose to her lily pad and sleep because I am outside playing my flute and I am trying to compose the song that we'll be playing during the ceremonies tomorrow.
Do you and Hadrian usually play together, do you think?
Yeah. So with my flute, I have illusion magic, so I create illusions to go along with the music.
Oh, delightful. What kind of illusions are you practicing for tomorrow?
Rose petals falling.
Futurama, the holophone.
Exactly. Yes. Rose petals falling from the sky, cherubs flying around, shooting tiny arrows at people. Beams of light coming down through the ceiling that obviously can't, but are.
Brilliant. Yes, to really give it that ambiance.
Yes.
Odinine comes over to you, and I think she listens quietly to your playing for a while. She's, just before speaking with Rose, dealt with yet another conflict, specifically between the two mothers-in-law. One of whom is what you would expect in a large, fairly wealthy Harengon family, and the other of whom is a half elf. You've gathered that one of the dads, Lord Montague, has remarried to a stepmother who is barely older than his son. And who Lady Capulet does not like. She's just resolved an argument between the two of them, and kind of comes over after seeing Rose, and you can see her like kind of kneading her forehead, like just trying. You know that she stays very composed at even the best of times, very less the worst. But she is clearly like kind of taking a deep breath as she listens to you play. And she says, "Oh, the two of you do have such a lovely way of playing."
Oh, I do agree upon that. We've been practicing quite a bit lately.
I can tell. It shows.
How now, lady?
Oh, we will get through this together. We just have to hold on. This is always the most difficult portion of every wedding, is the night before. As soon as we get it going, everything will slot into place.
Well, you can surely rely on your acolytes to assist you with this.
I certainly can, and I do. I appreciate it deeply. You've all done marvelous work. The temple looks wonderful.
Well, thank you very much.
Is there anything you need from me before you depart for bed?
No, I think I'll just play my flute down the halls and hopefully have someone else drift off into dreamland.
That is lovely. If they can hear you over the shouting, I'm sure you will be of great help. Mercutio, you are a Harengon. Do you bear any relation to either of these families?
Well, all Haringons in this world are related somehow. There are a lot of children running around.
Yes.
Yes, they are certainly my cousins at least 8 times removed.
I would imagine so. It does strike me that such a prosperous species is well aligned with our goddess. She seems to sit there and think a little, like trying to like internalize that. Like, yes, this is good. Bunnies, love goddess, good. In alignment. I can do this. I can get yelled at by Karens for the next 18 hours. I can make this work. And she says, "Do you know how fares Taj?"
Oh, the last I saw him, he was trouncing around trying to make sure that everything was right in its place.
Good. I know that this has been a trying afternoon, shall we say.
Yes, I do believe he's able to keep his emotions in check, but you know Taj.
He is entitled to his emotional reaction, whatever they are, as are you. Be that as it may, I'll go find him.
Farewell.
Thank you, and sleep well.
Oh, yes, you as well.
She gives you a squeeze on your shoulder as well. And Taj, what have you been up to this evening? What are you doing before bed?
So Taj can't sleep while people are playing music, so is probably the last person to go to bed. Like the screaming and the yelling, that is normal for him, but like the music is somehow like the sort of piece of it does not allow him to sleep. So he, I think, is almost always the last person to sleep and spends a lot of the night sweeping the floors and chambers of the temple with a rather large broom, being, an 8 foot tall, 8'6" if you count the tips of the ears, elephant, very like dark skin and a number of large white scars across like face and trunk, and just has been sort of lumbering around in this temple. I think he almost doesn't fit in as tall as he is, and like occasionally has to like really hunch to get through doorways.
You cut a very intimidating figure. Yeah, especially in this sea of rabbit folk, all of whom are at most like 4'5".
I think he has accidentally defused an argument or two just by looming twice as tall as the rabbits, accidentally, like really just not doing anything, but just sort of appearing and looking down and being literally
Right.
twice their size.
Yeah, you have walked in on a few different arguments where the second your shadow fell across them, they looked up at you with those big old rabbit eyes of theirs and suddenly didn't have anything to say to each other or to you.
Everything
all
all
back.
right here?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, it's fine if you was arguing.
Okay.
I'm gonna go sweep over there.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Yeah. I imagine that you often take solace in the courtyard that kind of is between these two kind of curves of the heart, the east and west wing. This is a kitchen garden out here where you grow the food that you eat in the temple, and great view of the sea and of the stars out here, but more to the point, a great place to hear all of the arguing to drown out the music.
I'm used to sleeping outside in the rough sort of thing on the deck of a ship, so it's almost like home, except it's too stable.
Yeah, it does
doesn't
not
rock at
does
all.
not rock and sway in the waves. Although you can hear their crash, you are very close to kind of where the channel lets out into the open sea. And as Odinine comes up to you, I think you're standing there with your broom, and she says, "Everything all right, Taj?"
What? Oh, well, the bloody rabbit's playing music again.
I don't think he's the only one, but
No,
yes.
he's not, but it's just hard. The halfling is too. It's hard to sleep.
I understand. Have you tried making an attempt at communication with them? Eye statements?
I'm still getting used to not just yelling and pointing the weapon at them.
Well, that is an eye statement in and of itself. So that represents growth, my dear.
Thank you.
I should say the wedding is fairly early in the morning. I would encourage you to get what rest you can, even if you must rest out here.
All right.
We can move a pallet perhaps out here for you?
I don't go through the trouble. I can take care of myself.
All right. It's not much trouble.
I know I didn't want to put you out.
Wouldn't put me out. If anything, it would give me a task with which to occupy myself so that I might not be waylaid by, shall we say, I'm certain very necessary conversation.
Would you like me to have a word? It's a funny thing. I sort of stood there and then they stopped yelling at each other.
You do have a pacifying effect on them, don't you?
It seems like I have that effect on a lot of people around here. They're all very small.
They are. How does that make you feel? And you can see that Odinine kind of folds her arms. She actually is also a very tall woman. She is 6'9", a very
Nice.
willowy figure. And before you came here, she was the giant on this particular island.
I'm still a full 1.5 tall.
She sure is. You are definitely much taller than her.
I look down sort of at the broom that is a broom size for me, so it's also like taller than most of the people here. I look back at, well, I mean, it feels, if I was like my old self, right, it would feel like I could just take anything I wanted.
Yes, I would imagine so.
And I'm trying not to think that.
You are not your thoughts, Taj. You may think it if you like, so long as you maintain control of your actions. We are not our thoughts, and our thoughts are not moral or immoral.
You're getting a bit into the philosophy of it all, and you lost me just a bit. But
I think you are more than capable of understanding the philosophy of it. You can think it, you just don't do it.
Well, we got to more teach me to read and that first. It was not a real commonality on a pirate ship.
I understand, and I think you have been doing a wonderful job of learning at Hadrian's urging.
He has been helping me, yes.
Yes. I have full faith in you, my dear.
Well, I'm not quite sure why, ma'am, but I have faith in the goddess, and that's enough for me.
Well, perhaps that's the arrangement then, that you have faith in the goddess and I have faith in you.
I mean, and in you, I don't mean to say I don't.
Thank you kindly.
It's just, yeah.
Yes. I love you very much, my dear. And she gives you a kiss on the cheek and she squeezes your arm. And she says, don't be up too late. You need your rest. And Taj, you know that she also needs her rest. Odinine is terrible at staying awake if she's not gotten a full 8 hours.
If it was light out, you could see that Taj's ears like start turning a darker purple and like flapping a little bit as Odinine does this, and he looks down and he goes, I'm gonna be the last one awake, right? You're gonna go to sleep.
I will do my level best, but
I will carry you. I can do that.
I know that you can. This is an item of great importance to me, Taj. This may be one of the most important things I ever do.
I get that these people have been needing a bridge for a very fucking long time.
Yes, indeed. And all breakdown in communication has been entirely nonsensical between the two parties. I really don't understand it, but the hope is that they're able to move past it now. And if they can move past it, we can move past it.
And get them off the island so you can get a night's sleep.
Well, let's keep our goals reasonable and actionable.
All right, don't kill anyone. Wedding goes off without, well, maybe without a hitch is too much to hope for.
Wedding
but wedding
goes
off.
Yes.
And then they leave.
Yes.
I think we can do that.
I think we can do that.
You go get some sleep. I'll wait until the music stops.
All right. Good night, Taj.
Good night.
And Taj, you do endeavor to keep your word. You can hear late into the night her diffusing arguments, sending people back to bed. It almost seems to you like at a certain point they turn into children who need to be tucked in with a story. Like it's crazy the number of times she is pulled in by relative after relative.
If there's one that's doing it more than the others, I wait until she leaves and I put something heavy in front of the door.
There is one who does it more than the others. It is the groom, Mr. Mario, wants to talk to Odinine. It seems almost
Pretty boy never kill no one.
every 15 minutes almost. He seems intent to go and bother her. And so at a certain point around 2 or 3 in the morning, you put something heavy in front of his door.
I stick my head in and I loom and I don't say a word. And then I close the door. And it is like a heavy something so we can hear it move in front of the door.
You hear from the other side of the door,
Sure, bro. Yeah, no, that's totally cool. That's totally fine. Yeah, no, for sure, man.
Have a good night, sir.
Yeah, bro. See you later, man. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sure, bro.
Good night.
you can kind of hear him still nattering at the door as you walk away, but you completely lose his kind of blabbering as you continue down the hall. When do you think you get to sleep?
When does the music stop? At
That's
some
a-
point, I think I run out if Mercutio is still playing.
Yeah.
Mercutio is late.
You do, as you're doing this to Mario, Mercutio just walks behind you playing music on my way to my room.
I'm sorry, I didn't see you was going that way.
Oh, it's okay. I know how tall you are. Maybe wait, I'll put my ears up. That way you can see me a little bit easier.
You know, it actually does help a little bit. And I mean, I'm not going to pick you up by him. I've been working on that. I'm sorry.
As he pulls his hand away, I want to try to bound up onto his shoulder.
Do you allow that to happen?
Yes, I think I do.
Yeah, I imagine with that kind of response, your body kind of stiffens.
It's a moment where Taj does just like tense up because used to interpreting anyone like coming towards him as a threat, and then like, oh wait, no, right, you just want to go sit on my head and my shoulder, right?
I just kind of lounge across his broad shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm not a bed, but if you want to sleep there, try. I'm gonna just give the courtyard another sweep.
Well, my room's on the way, so I'll just take a ride until we get there.
All right. Anyway,
But I'll stop playing music in the meantime.
thank you.
The Taj Ferry takes you to your room, Mercutio, and Taj, I imagine you get to bed in the wee hours. Do you end up sleeping with them, or do you sleep out in the courtyard?
I think out in the courtyard, you can still hear the last, like the faintest arguments that are like half asleep, but like the spouses who might be fighting with each other late at night is still like soothing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If they cannot fight with the other family, they will fight with each other.
And just like, I think there's a moment when he starts to just sleep on the flagstones out there and then is like, okay, and we'll go back inside and get just like a straw pallet or like a little bedroll and like put it on the stones.
It is more comfortable that way.
I mean, it's still like the deck of a ship, you know, but it's a little bit cushier.
The four of you go to sleep, and it is morning before you know it. You all need to wake up to make final preparations for the wedding, and you do sleep well. You usually sleep well here. It's so peaceful and safe. If anything, it may be a little bit too peaceful, too safe, Tosh. Maybe it kind of sets your teeth on edge. And you all wake up, and the temple is quiet. And for a moment, you kind of relish the sound of the seabirds and the breeze moving through the temple until you realize you don't smell coffee. You don't hear anyone moving in the temple. What do you do?
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. I will slowly, cautiously walk out of my room, looking at, my first thought is for Odinine's safety.
Yeah, Hadrian, you sleep in the quarters with Mercutio, and usually Taj also. I'm gonna say, Rosaline, your sleeping pool is also in there to give you the greatest amount of peace. You have a small, I'm almost imagining like kind of like a little bird bath next to a window where your water lily is. So you three are all asleep in the sleeping quarters. And your sleeping quarters looks out into the courtyard. Where you can see the enormous shape of Taj asleep kind of on the flagstones.
Like a huge snore echoing through his trunk.
Yeah, but it takes a while to get to the end of his trunk. Yeah, you can hear him sleeping deeply, and you don't hear any arguing. But you also don't hear anyone moving around the temple. Hadrian, you get up. Do you motion to either of your companions who've woken up? It is probably like 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, you all knew you were supposed to wake up early. The dawn is no longer quite pink. So it feels like definitely time for you guys to get up and start setting everything up.
Okay, so there's vibes. Like there was noise all night before everyone was going to sleep, so we feel like something's going on, or I do.
Yeah,
let's
you
say.
definitely feel off. Odinine subscribes to a pretty strict schedule. It is very odd for things to be this quiet.
Okay. Well, and everyone's awake and looking at me as I proceed towards the door.
Yeah, Hadrian, I think as you get up, Rose and Mercutio, you guys are rubbing the sleep from your eyes. You see that Hadrian has stood up, and I think both of you process why. You also hear this like quiet. I think it occurs to you, Mercutio, that Odinine did go to bed really late. And you know that she has a really hard time waking up in the morning if she has not gotten enough sleep. You've even found her like halfway through her morning rituals, like just like conked out. Like she just falls asleep in the middle of what she's doing.
Okay, so how far is our quarters from her room? And if I were to, for instance, go out the window rather than the door, would there be a quick path to get there?
Your room abuts the kitchens, which is where she usually sleeps. And so you could go through a door. You have a window that looks out into the courtyard, and then a door that travels into the kitchens, and from there into the main hall, which is usually where she is.
Okay. So are there adjacent windows to the kitchens? Because I feel like I put my hand on the door handle, and then the vibes are just like, I think better of it. And so I'm gonna stealthily exit the window and then try to enter the kitchen as close to where I think she's sleeping as possible.
If you were going to go out of the window into the courtyard, you would need to go through one of the wings to get into the main hall. The easiest way to do this would be to open the door to the kitchen and see if she's in there.
Okay, great. I will stealthily open this door after putting my fingers to my lips in the universal sign of shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I'll go take a peek. Yeah.
Rose and Mercutio, you see that Hadrian is about to open the door. You can hear Taj snoring in the courtyard. Does either of you move to wake Taj?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I swatted you once accidentally.
Yeah. She's seen you kill before. She's not a huge fan of yours.
Yeah.
So Rose, do you instead, you want to, you can either stay in bed or you can like kind of zip over to where Hadrian's at if you want to peek into the...
Zip over, but I like hide like on his shoulder, like behind his head.
Yeah, Rose, how are you looking this morning? How do you usually look after you've just woken up?
My skin is even brighter green. Mm-hmm. And I have bedhead.
Yeah.
Like major bedhead.
Imagine this is huge, voluminous curls.
Like little
red.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
Do you sleep in a little like petal nightgown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rose petals.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mercutio,
Yes.
you gonna wake Taj?
Yeah, I am actually, after my ears twitch around a little bit as I'm wiping the crusties from my eyes, I notice that everything feels off. So I quickly get dressed in my finest overalls and vest. Mm-hmm. And I grab my flute and I jump up to the window and I start playing starting at a very low note, a wake-up song to
Very
get Taj's
nice.
attention.
Okay. You start playing a wake-up song. Taj, roll me perception.
Okay. Hey.
And go ahead and roll me performance.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I bet you add something to your performance, Mr. Bard.
13.
13. Yeah, you, Taj, you are having a blissfully dreamless sleep, deep and calm, and then you hear that fucking music again.
It's like an ear flap.
Like you're trying to swat away a fly, but it is persistent. You wake up pretty quickly.
Oh, is it time already? And I start lumbering to my feet.
Taj, something's wrong. Meet us in the kitchen.
What?
And I disappear out of the window.
I grab my broom and I sprint into the kitchen.
You tear through the courtyard into the sleeping quarters. Just Hadrian, as you are pushing open the door, everybody roll me a perception check.
8. 3.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
8.
8.
15.
Okay. Taj and Hadrian. You two are both I think you've both had experiences of violence and danger in your lives. I think Mercutio, you and Rose do as well, but maybe, am I correct? Not so willingly.
Mercutio's definitely been around brawling, and whenever anyone tries to involve him, he just gets away as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Rose, what about you?
The only violence that has happened to Rose has been being kidnapped. And then, she was inside of a thing in the captain's quarter to get him high occasionally. And then, and then seeing Taj kill the person who, unhooked the thing.
Let you out of your
I
cage.
killed
Yeah.
the person who let her free because he wasn't supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So that's
That's the
the only
captain's
violence
property.
That's
was
the
my
only violence
kidnapping
you've
and
been-
that killing.
Rose
And them bullying her to
and
do stuff.
Mercutio, you both feel, I think, deep in your body, almost resonant in your chest. There's this kind of weird ringing, and you associate it with deep fear. You don't hear anything, but that feels so deeply unnerving. I think you are both kind of for a moment taken aback. You've never felt like this.
Like a panic attack.
Here. Yeah, almost like you're about to have a panic attack. Hadrian and Taj, you two do not hear any movement from the kitchen or the main hall. This is very weird.
There's no breakfast.
And the two of you, not only do you not smell coffee, Odinine, that girl loves her coffee. She needs it. You don't smell. No breakfast has been put on the burners. There is no coffee. The two of you smell something odd. You smell just on the very edge of your senses, sulfur.
I have advantage on checks that rely on
Yes,
smell
yes,
because
you
of my
do.
trunk.
Mm-hmm.
If I notice that, my trunk just sort of snakes up a bit and starts.
Yeah,
Trying to-
Taj, it appears to be coming from the main hall.
Something's not right, and it stinks in the main hole.
Okay, what are you guys going to do?
I draw my sword.
Okay.
And I look back at Taj and say, well, I don't like it at all what's going on here, and I'm terribly afraid. So this feud between these two families has turned into some malfeasance that's harmed our Lady Audinine, and I'm going to find out what it is.
Of them if one of them has harmed a hair on her head.
Well, I agree, but please don't kill anyone until we know who's guilty. We're here in the Temple of Love, and we're not
talk first, kill second.
Right, we've tried. We've taken oaths to give our lives to love instead of violence. Before you kill anyone, let's make sure we know who's done something bad.
Get behind me. You're all very small.
Good advice.
I never get behind anyone when it comes to violence. I'll go first.
I pick up the broom, and as I do, the sort of bristles fall off, and it's a giant halberd.
I knew you were going to say that. That's so good.
It was. I look at it. I was trying to put this behind me, and I again sprint for where I smelled the sulfur.
Okay, Mercutio and Rose.
Are we too afraid to do anything?
You are not.
I think if I can, before Taj runs off, I'm going to jump up onto his shoulder again.
Go ahead if Taj will allow it. You don't need to roll for it if Taj allows it. You just do it.
No, yeah, I allow it, but it's sort of definitely like swinging onto a galloping horse.
Yeah, no problem.
Delightful.
I fly over and then like hide within the ear.
Between my ears or inside?
In one of your ears. Like the top part of one of your ears. And I kind of like
Cover
my face with like the tips of his ear. Yeah.
You four rush through the kitchen out into the main hall. This is the main kind of inner sanctum of the temple. There are 4 paths that lead through the room, one coming from the kitchens to the doors, and one bridging between the east and west wings. All leading to this statue of Aline in the center of the room. She is larger than lifelike and wears many faces. There is kind of a magical resonance on this statue to make the face of the goddess look many different ways. Love can look like many different people and many different things, but all paths converge with love at the center. And as the 4 of you run into the room, you all can smell this now. It's very faint, but still noticeable in a temple where the air is this clean, this kind of soft smell of sulfur. And you all see Odinine collapsed at the foot of the statue.
I sprint over and try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. What do the 3 of you do?
When Taj gets close enough, I'm going to jump towards her and I'm going to attempt to use healing hands.
Okay. Yeah. Hadrian.
Hadrian will start looking around the room for threat detection. Is anybody else in the room? Anything moving?
Hadrian, the room is empty.
Okay, great.
Rose.
I go to her face and like tap it and then like shake her like earlobe or something.
Rose, you fly down from Mercutio's ear and start gently papping her face and tugging on her ear. You notice, Rose, as you're touching her face, there is kind of this thin, like this sticky sheen over her face, some kind of weird, like thin veneer of slime. Mercutio, you attempt to heal her. What do you think that looks like?
So when I attempt to heal her, I put one hand on her and I put one hand up into the air. And then I cast healing light and both of my hands start to glow. Yeah,
your hands glow as you attempt to heal your mentor. And as you put your hand to her chest, it feels wet. And her body is very cold. And the 4 of you kind of are trapped in this moment of realization that Odinine is dead, and your healing does not work. Everybody go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Can I use my trunk for advantage?
Yes, you can.
I'm just like white-knuckled hanging onto my halberd and the trunk actively trying to sniff the body and around it.
Yeah.
I got a 13.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Also a 13.
Okay.
19.
Okay. You all notice that Odinine is lying prone on her back. You easily see she has a wound where a knife has been driven through her back, hard enough to penetrate her chest. Her robes are soaked red in the front. You also all notice there is she is surrounded by a thin film of this sticky green slime Rose, that you noticed when you touched her face. You can see it all over her face and head, and you can see that in kind of a semicircle around her, away from facing front, is the stone floor of the temple is scorched by holy magic. It seems that she attacked whatever attacked her. And who got my highest investigation check?
19.
Yep. that'd be
Mercutio, as you are examining the floor, you see that this kind of wide stretching semicircle of slime, this weird film over the ground. You see that there is one long, almost snail-like a snail trail line of it, stretching off into the corner.
I'm going to try to get everyone's attention by just waving at them, not making noise, just like bouncing.
Yeah.
And then I point at the trail.
Yeah.
Very emphatically.
Mercutio, as you follow the trail, you follow it. It actually stretches the entire length of one of those of one of the paths that leads into this room towards the kitchen, and then diverges into a tiny hole in the wall, like a mouse hole.
How did a mouse do something like that? And why can't I, if it was a mouse, can I kill it?
No, you'd run from it. You're an elephant.
That is a species stereotype. Why would I run from something it's like the size of you, me to you is the size of you to a mouse, so that it's like it's mathematics from me to the mouse.
Can I make an Arcana check?
Yes, you certainly may.
10.
Yeah, all of you, if you would like to try to see if your character would have any reason to suspect what this might be, go ahead and roll me. You can roll me Arcana if you want to see if it's some kind of magical effect. You can roll me Nature if you want to see if it's some kind of animal.
Does the whole thing smell like sulfur? And like
does.
following the trail,
yes, the trail smells of sulfur.
Got a 9 on
Something
nature.
is
Okay.
something has killed our lady and left this trail of slime and smells like farts. There's only one way for me to know about this, and it's to look back into the ancient lore of the halflings and see what I might know from history.
Ancient lore
Sorry.
of the halflings. Are you being serious right now?
They might have ancient lore. You never know.
That's a 13. The halflings are very well
Oh, no,
researched.
Todd just doesn't know that. I
Yeah.
grew up with pirates, mate. We're not very, very historical.
Right. Well, I'll have you know that my house of Wersingers been in this world for a very long time, and we know a lot of important history, especially when it comes to smelly things.
Okay.
So that's why I'm looking into my history.
You look into the history of smelly things? Is that
Yeah, there's any slimy or smelly things. You know, we live in holes in the ground, of course, so we've got a lot of knowledge of smelly, slimy things. And it's important to keep our holes nice and tidy.
One
It
man's
is.
fart.
one man's part? You know, the goddess of
Right,
love
everyone
really
likes their own
emphasizes
brand.
tidiness of the whole. So we've got did I hear a 9 nature? Mercutio, you were rolling Arcana, you got
I got a 10.
10, and then we had a 13 history.
13 halfling
Fantastic.
history.
So, let's see. Rose, you search your mind frantically. I think your head is still kind of ringing with alarm, and just kind of this feeling like this can't be real. And you frantically search your mind for any animal or beast that you know could do this. And for a second, you're like, snail. And then you're like, no, that can't be right. No, that has to be wrong. But you can't think of anything else that you know of that would make any sense. And honestly, none of this situation makes any sense to you. I think you're having a really hard time in processing what's going on. Mercutio, you search your mind for some spell that could do this for a second. You wonder about Greece, but that would have ignited the second that Odinine used any kind of holy fire against it. And also you touch it and the consistency is wrong. You are kind of frantically searching through your own memory for things that you know. Hadrian, you think to yourself about halfling history, particularly battles that they've engaged in. And it occurs to you that something that might be able to do this would be a slime of some kind, but you can't account for any slime being on the island. You guys live on what is essentially a bar in the middle of a kind of a berm in the middle of the high current channel between these two cliffs of Split Island. You guys don't get stuff like that. You're lucky if you get raccoons out here. A raccoon would have to work pretty hard to get to your island. So you certainly can't account for any kind of monster being here. But the very thought unnerves you. And as the four of you are trying to figure out what just happened and what to do, it occurs to you that the only four people on this island who are qualified to solve this mystery are you. And also, Odinine was supposed to do a wedding this morning, and none of you know how to do that, and it's kind of important that it happen. And there are people in the temple right now who are slowly waking up, who are going to have a lot of questions.
Cue the theme song.
The body.
Hey listeners, Colin here, just cutting in for a quick moment to say thanks for listening. We hope you're really enjoying the show. We are having so much fun making it and getting to play together, and hopefully you're having fun listening. We'd really love it if you would leave us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Maybe even go one more minute further and leave us a review. We love reading them. It makes us feel great, and we will give you a shout out on the show as soon as you do that. If you really love us, and we hope you do, head on over to patreon.com/therollreport. And maybe you can give us whatever you can spare a month. For as little as $2 a month, you'll support this show and everyone involved in making it. A little bit more, and you won't have to listen to me or anyone else asking you for money or telling you about our social media handles. That's right, on Instagram and TikTok at The Roll Report Cast. You can find exclusive new art, all sorts of cool stuff, little edited videos of the interviews that you might not have heard even, and so much more. Thank you all so much for listening. We love doing this, and we hope you are having fun with us. Back to the show.
All right. Jumping back to in media res, you all just discovered your mentor, Odinine, dead at the foot of the altar. You are now looking at a mouse hole in the wall next to the door that leads to the kitchen, where a thin trail of slime leads into the hole, and all of you can hear people stirring in the east and west wing as people begin to wake up. And in fact, you all hear footsteps coming from both wings. One set of footsteps here, one set of footsteps there. You have about an action's worth of time to decide what you need to do, because there is a body in the middle of the main hall, and you have a wedding to put on. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna reach. Where's Rosaline?
I am at the body, and I'm like trying to pull out.
Okay, you're not in. You didn't follow the trail with us. Okay.
No, you're at the body, like
I'm
trying
at the
to
body
pull.
trying to pull the thing that's stabbing through her body.
She does actually. This is something I wanted to mention. There is no knife.
Oh.
She has been stabbed from behind, which seems to have been what caused her death. But that knife is nowhere to be seen. And your friends are kind of pressed up against the wall, looking at this tiny hole in the wall.
I'm doing gentle repose on my grandma to make sure she's gonna go peacefully, because that's the only thing I know what to do.
Okay. Yeah. What does it look like as you cast Gentle Repose on Odinine's body? This spell that's going to help her. I believe Gentle Repose prevents her from being raised as an undead. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also preserves the body.
Yes.
So she's not going to start decaying and all the clues aren't going to like go away. She's like
very smart.
Gonna stay.
Yeah.
A ring of mushrooms surround her. And the mushrooms all kind of look like tiny roses.
I love that. This kind of like cluster of fungal petals and vents. Yeah.
And then she takes one of the bigger ones and places it on the wound on her heart.
That's very sweet. Yeah, and she's kind of blanketed in, I'm imagining kind of like this aura of spores.
Yeah.
And you see this kind of peace come over her body.
Yeah.
I interrupt this touching scene because I have, realizing the fairy, the tiny one, is not with us, I run over back from the kitchen.
Yeah, Rose, as you were doing this gentle repose, kind of finding this moment, you hear boom, 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 as this enormous elephant thuds up to you.
As I do, I'm just yelling, Rose! And I am going to rage for advantage on the fact I'm going to simply grab her.
Rose, roll a strength contest. You are being grappled. And Taj, you have advantage on this because you are raging.
I do. I have a +6. Natural 20 for 26.
And I have a -2.
I reach out, like, hand misses, and I grab her with my trunk.
Yeah, you like with your wings, you're like, and you like try to dodge him, but he snatches you up in his trunk.
I lift her up to my face. There's a tiny hole that's your sized, and you need to go into it and find out where this fucking slime went. And I will, with my trunk, reach it back and whip her towards
like a baseball.
Mercutio and Hadrian.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick up the body. And I mean, I've been here 6 months. Do we bury people here?
You do, but you are aware, I think, Taj, you did see what Rose did, and you know that this body is preserved. If you did want to have a funeral, it's very likely that you would want to show her body. You realize you could probably lay her down in either the quarters, the sleeping quarters.
I'm gonna again, like, still raging. My eyes are pure red. Just run with her and try to get her into our quarters before these people see her.
Yeah, Mercutio and Hadrian, you look up and see Rose flying towards you, flung by Taj, who is raging. You see him pick up Odinine, and he barrels past you, thud, 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 into the kitchen and through to the sleeping quarters. You can literally feel the temple shaking as he does this. You see Rose, are you okay? You just got flung like...
I am so mad. Like, being trapped is my
Mercutio sets up to catch you.
And I'm casting Chill Touch, which I have 120 feet, and I'm... Yeah.
You're going to try to chill touch on your friend. Yeah.
He's not my friend.
I suppose not. Your fellow acolyte.
We're really not. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I would imagine you experienced such grief seeing him pick Odinine up like that and run off with her, just like this kind of reflexive fury at him. And Mercutio, go ahead and I'm going to roll a dex check to catch poor Rose as she zips towards you.
No.
Yeah, you
Just shaking it,
Mercutio,
shaking their head.
you set up to catch Rose, and she goes straight through the gap in your hands and thumps you straight in the chest. It feels like you've been shot with a tiny fairy-shaped arrow just directly in the heart.
Do I take damage?
No, but you definitely have a bruise.
It's not an improvised weapon.
No, you get a little puff of her mushrooms as she hits you. And then you have angry fairy in your chest fur.
Oh yeah, I'm throwing a tantrum.
Throwing a huge tantrum.
Yeah.
Mercutio, you know that Taj's goal was to get her to go through the mouse hole. You have a very limited amount of time to convince her to do that before you're about to be dealing with whoever is walking towards the room.
Did you want to roll to attack me, though?
I did.
Yeah.
Do I?
So Rose, go ahead and roll to attack Taj. But Mercutio,
It's an 8.
no,
That
it's
does
not going to
hit.
do it. You throw an angry chill touch after Taj, but you know it misses, and that just makes you even more upset. Mercutio, you have I imagine kind of a gentle pawful of very angry fairy, and you are right next to the wall that has this little hole in it. What do you do?
Well, I put the fairy down, and I'm going to run back towards where the scorched area was. And I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to clean up the area before anyone else sees it.
Yeah. Do you want to actually clean the area, or you just want to present an illusion that it is clean?
Prestidigitation does clean it, right?
I believe it does.
Because, I want to actually clean it.
Okay,
Because I also
yeah.
have Minor Illusion, which I could use to just cover it,
Okay,
but I feel like actually cleaning is the way
Go
to
for it. Okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you run up. You gently set Rose down on the ground. Rose, what do you do when you're set down?
I start going around in a circle, kicking, with my hands in the
Fists
air,
in the
fists in
air
the air, and just
Stomping your feet.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing.
Tiny angry bells.
Tiny
And then
angry
I
bells.
go to Ben's character, and I who's there?
Adrian.
And I just am trying to get him to commiserate with me and be like pointing at him and having my fist in the air and crossing my arms, trying to get him to commiserate with me and tell me that I'm
Yeah, Hadrian,
right.
you see in a very short succession, Taj barrels past you with Odinine. You hear kind of as Rose hits Mercutio in the chest. Mercutio gently sets her down on the floor, runs to the center of the room to do prestidigitation to clean the blood and slime off the floor, and you are then faced with a very angry Rose who is pumping her fists in the air and stomping her feet. What are you going to do? You hear these two sets of footsteps drawing near.
So I'm going to look to Rose and say, my dear little friend, I know that was not a fair thing for him to do. But if you can go down that little mouse hole and find out if there's any sort of information you can grab, then I'll try to do crowd control on the people that are coming in the room. We've got to make sure there's not a feud between them all. Otherwise, there'll be more blood spilled today, and Eileen will not be pleased with our work here. So if you can just be the bigger person, the better person, even though you're so wee, and take a nice deep breath and go and find out whatever you can down that mouse hole. Don't get too far, get yourself into any danger. And I'll try to
She
do what I
crosses her arms and ignores you.
Yeah.
Pro tip, her love language is words of affirmation, so you might want to just smother her with nice words if you want her to do
this,
anything.
Hadrian. You know this from Odinine, that you, Rosaline will do almost anything if you butter her up with compliments.
All right. My sweet little fairy. You are such an important part of this temple, and there's no way we're going to be able to get through today
She starts
without
looking at you.
your help. And so I am going to do my best to make sure these Montagues and Kelpiates don't kill one another. And in the meantime, I just need you to work your magical magic and help us to find out who's done this dastardly deed to kill our beloved Odinine. And I'd be ever so grateful, eternally grateful to you, if you'd just go and look in there while I try to soften the outcome of this. And then once you're done, I'll make sure that you've got the prettiest clothes and a very central part in the ceremony, and anything else you want, really.
Okay, does that work on you, Rosaline? Those were a lot of good compliments.
When a good call.
Yeah, you're so brave.
It's so important.
And so important.
So she like brushes her arms off and kind of like primps her hair and tries to get it like in order, even though it's major bedhead. And then she like gingerly steps around the slime towards the hole, which she has to like crouch down and get onto her knees. And she's like not so stoked about that. And then she casts fairy fire to see if there's anything down the hole. She like pokes her head in and like zaps a finger down the hole.
Yeah, you zap a little finger down the hole. Your brightly colored, like purple and pink bolt of fairy fire flows out of you in kind of like this misty, like tinged with spores. And as you look down the hole, it is just big enough that it would be a pretty tight squeeze, even for you. But you can see that there is nothing inside. The trail of slime goes into the wall, and it seems like kind of dips even further down beneath the floor of the kitchen.
Takes a deep breath. She looks at him in the eye.
Just one.
Eyes.
Singular eye.
Singular eye. And then goes in.
Okay. Rosaline, you crawl into the hole. We'll resolve that in a second. Mercutio, you are at the center of the room. Hadrian, you are next to the mouse hole as Rosaline creeps in. As you both see two figures come into the room, one from the east wing, one from the west wing. You see Yulia Kelpulet. She is a very small, very fluffy little white bunny who is always wearing an enormous embroidered scarf around her neck, no matter the weather. And you see she is carrying she has these enormous black eyes framed in the longest lashes you've ever seen. And you see she comes panting into the room holding what appears to be her wedding dress and says,
"Oh, yeah, could I talk to... Sorry, is Odinine here? Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry."
And you see she actually apologized as Mario Montague also walks into the room. He is a somewhat lanky gray rabbit, about a foot taller than her. He wears his ears down. He is kind of this all over dusty gray. And this early in the morning, he is more slumping than walking. And he says, "Shabra, it's all good. It's all good. Whatever you have to talk to somebody about, I will just chill over here. I'm all good. Just kind of taking a big morning, whatever the fuck it's called, constitutional or something." What are you guys doing? Sorry, the vibe in here is fucking crazy, bro. What do you guys do? You are faced with these two people. You can see actually Mario is looking around. He seems to be looking for something in particular. But he also seems embarrassed to be witnessed by his bride-to-be, who is looking at you with just the biggest eyes you've ever seen, Mercutio and Hadrian. And these big, black, glossy eyes kind of clutching her wedding dress.
I'm going to approach her. Julia. Odinine did have to go run an errand very quickly, but I can assist you with whatever you might need.
Okay, sorry, I'm not trying to impose.
She kind of fans out she has this large, too large for her because it's kind of meant to trail behind her, this marigold gown that is embroidered all over with flowers, tulips, and roses. And she says,
Well, I was just getting up and getting ready, and I just wanted to take a look at the dress just one last time, and then I found this. Well, it's not big. It's just a hole, and it's gonna take quite some time to fix. So I was just wondering if I could talk to her about postponing the ceremony. I can fix it myself.
Oh, no need to worry. Holes are my specialty.
Oh.
And then I'm going to cast Prestidigitation.
You cast Prestidigitation, and you see that the dress begins to mend itself, and she says,
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much. And I had this whole idea that I was gonna embroider on it, but I guess I can just embroider the normal amount. Thank you very much. What's the nature of the errand that Odinine is running?
Well, she happened to be up before me, but she did mention something about wine for the ceremony.
Oh, wine. I'm going to be really honest. I think my family could probably do with less drinking rather than more. I don't want to sound judgy.
We did run low on our supply after last night.
Yeah, that makes sense. They could really lay off, I think. Sorry, I know they're a huge pain in the ass.
It's all right. I'm used to, dealing with herringons, as I am one myself.
Oh, yeah, I think we bicker a lot more than the average, but I appreciate that. That's very generous of you. Most people aren't so generous in their opinion of my family.
Well, of course. Is there anything else for the bride-to-be?
No, I was just wondering if we could postpone the ceremony for a different reason.
And what reason would that be?
I don't know. Just anything you could come up with. That would be great.
My lady, I do believe that everything shall come out all right.
Okay.
Do not stress your little head.
Okay. I'm just,
I give her pets.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's really bolstering my confidence. It's just, everybody's just been fighting about everything. And then there's weird Uncle Steve. And, nobody even really knows who he's with. So it's just been causing a lot of problems. Like, everybody's asking me about the eating chart for, the reception. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who he's related to. Do you know who he came with? And they say, no, I thought he came with you. I'm like, why would he come with me? It's your family. Anyway, sorry.
No worries, my lady. We can always help soothe everyone's mood with our music. Isn't that right, Hadrian?
That would be great.
Of course it is. Me boy, I'm sure everything will go off perfectly well without a hitch.
Okay, well, I'm so sorry for taking up so much of your... And, okay, I'm gonna go deal with that.
You see that her parents have walked out of the East Wing. Lady Kelpulet is she's 5 feet tall, just like her daughter. She is a little slimmer. You're not quite sure where Yulia gets her looks. Possibly her father, who is a strange little squash of a bunny. More fluff than man. You have not been able to make out a single coherent word from him. All of his words sound like, and they seem pontificated. They seem like sentences. But his wife apparently is able to understand him. You hear him going off about something as he enters the room on his wife's arm, going, and she says, "You're quite right. Yeah, you're quite right. It's a mess. I don't know. Sorry, I did." And Yulia actually goes over to them and is like,
It's okay. Hold on. I'll take care of this. I think Mario wanted to talk to you.
And you see Mario Montague is kind of pacing back and forth. He has his hands on his hips. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, no, it's all good. Whatever. Whatever you can see to me, don't even stress. We're totally good in the neighborhood." Taj, you can hear the people are up and awake. As you gently set your mentor down. I'm imagining on the bed that you did not sleep in last night.
Yeah.
And I think you are gripped by I don't want to put words in your mouth. Maybe I don't know what stage of grief you're at this particular moment. Probably not ready for sadness.
Denial.
Straight to rage.
Yeah.
Really straight. I think, Taj has seen enough people die, and you wouldn't have said that anyone was close to him. And this is the first time someone that he would not admit willingly, but someone that was close to him died. The people on his crew come and go, and it kind of sucks when they die. And this time he's just, I think he, again, just white-knuckled grip on the halberd in one hand as he puts the body down, and slowly the red leaves his eyes.
Yeah, and I think as it does, you're able to see a little clearer, and you kind of wish you weren't. You can see that Odinion's weathered face. You can see it is contorted in pain, and you know enough about dying a violent death that she did not go happily, and it doesn't seem like she went particularly quickly either. It seems like she probably lost consciousness when she was stabbed, and then just slowly bled to death. It bothers you, I think, more than seeing. I think you're very live by the sword, die by the sword, and to see such a gentle woman killed in this way really bothers you. In kind of I would imagine a place that you don't really know how to name.
I think Taj also instinctively feels that it's his fault, being the most violent person here, that somehow he caused this.
Yeah, I think you kind of feel this heavy guilt that maybe you brought this to her door somehow. But you do hear Hadrian and Mercutio talking in the main hall.
I kneel down next to the body for a moment, and I very fruitlessly try to smooth a couple of the wrinkles out of her face, and then I just lean down and go, I don't know who did this, but I swear to you and to Elaine, I will find them and I will destroy them. And then I stand up and I go and I sort of throw the door open again and then slam it behind me, and I look down at the rabbit.
Yeah, you walk back out into the main hall, slamming the door open and then shut as you go. And basically every rabbit in the main hall jumps, and not a small jump. It's a small jump for them, but they do a casual 10 feet. So they all clear like Simone Biles level of jump in the air.
For a moment, they're all at my eye level.
Right.
And it's like, shit.
Yeah, Mario is actually the shortest of everybody in this room. In spite of Yulia's kind of diminutive nature, he is a full 4 inches shorter than her. Just kind of this. He looks very much like a boy. They are both 19, but he definitely looks it more than her. Maybe because she's so delectably plump and fluffy. He is a little bit scrawnier and always looks like he hasn't slept enough. Like he's never fully opening his eyes totally. Especially this early in the morning. But he looks up at you and he says, "Hey, what's swinging, big eye? You put me in bed last night. That was so cool of you.
How did you get out of your room?
I did have to ask for some assistance. It was not easily done.
Right. What do you want?
I don't know. Do you guys hey, be real. He leans into you, which is not super comfortable for you. He's like, hey man, do you have any fantasy weed?
Fantasy weed.
Just anything for nerves.
You're getting married.
Yeah. Totally. And it's totally necessary because I absolutely cannot deal with not having a bridge between our two lands. It's crazy that it's taken fucking this long, you know what I mean?
I can't fucking believe you don't have a bridge. Look,
it's absolutely crazy.
Ask Hadrian. I'm busy and I'm going to just go over and put my trunk to the mouse hole and try to smell what's going on.
Okay, cool. Hey, thanks so much, big man. Hadrian, what's swinging, big man?
Well, hello there, my friend. I know this is a very stressful day for you, but
yeah.
I'm certain we can get everything going according to the plan. So what can I do to help you? Maybe you need to do some breathing exercises or...
Yeah, I know for sure, because I, like, cannot breathe. But for real, have you guys, like, seen a surfboard?
No, I've not seen a surfboard.
Okay. That's sweet.
I'm pretty sure that's not what you're.
Because, like, in the post-wedding ceremony, I am supposed to, like, ride behind the ferry with it, like, pulling me and my love on a surfboard, and I cannot find it.
Look over from the hole. Why would you do a stupid thing like that?
Now, Taj, I don't think that's helpful right now. This is his vision. It's his wedding. So let's let the little lad...
Surfing's like my life, brah. It's like my life.
You need a new life.
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
All right, Taj, why don't you go and make sure you're helping Rosaline with her work over there, and I'll take care of our little Mario here.
What's Lugar doing?
Oh, we're just we're searching down that little rabbit hole.
We got a mouse problem.
It's just a wee mouse. Cool. But anyway, for you, maybe you and I should go and look for this surfboard. But I'm sure it's not too far.
Yeah, it's just like I can't start without it, and it's like super weird that I can't find it because it's like my most valuable possession. So I don't really know where the hell it went. And I don't know how I possibly lost track of it. It's like super fucking weird. I was talking to fucking Weird Uncle Steve about it yesterday. Like, just like what kind of wax I should, like, is the most marital in nature.
Whose uncle is Steve?
I don't fucking know. I thought he was with you. He says, yeah, do you like, he's not like a weird uncle that you like have hanging around, right?
I don't have.
Well, he's certainly not my weird uncle, but I do have several of those, so I know what it's like to have a weird uncle.
I swear to Ellen, he is not my uncle, but like he's somebody's uncle, and he's like here, bro. Like it's been causing a mayhem. Not that like I'm really into sorting that out. Julia's kind of got the like whole like seating arrangement down.
Start looking for weird uncles.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, that's cool.
And then I turn around and I go and I get close to the mouse hole.
Yeah, Rosaline.
I am sorry I did the thing that we talked about where I treated you like a very small object and threw you. There really wasn't time. I have to go find crazy Uncle Steve, and then
I do chill touch again.
Yeah, Rosaline.
I just stand up and I'm like gonna go look for Steve.
Rosaline, before you
13.
do that,
No.
you
Still doesn't hit.
doesn't hit. You have crawled into this hole. You kind of hear the scene that is taking place behind you. You don't have a lot of interest in it. But as you climb down into the hole, it seems to go.
Oh, I'm flying.
Are you? It is not big enough in here.
Oh,
for
my
you to
wings
fly.
aren't.
Your wings are actually pinned to your body. It is very narrow.
I don't like small spaces.
You don't like it down
You
here.
are a small space.
I was trapped for a long time in a small space.
You are having to crawl on hands and knees in this hole, and
it's covered with my tears.
And slime.
And also slime.
And slime.
And also sticky slime.
Yeah.
It smells like farts.
It smells like farts. And your life has never been worse. And you have forgotten never. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
worse than
And you've
Little
forgotten
Lantern
all of the
shit.
compliments you were given. Roll me an investigation check.
8.
Rosaline, as you travel down this very narrow hole, you can feel that you have gone underneath the tiles of the kitchen, but you eventually reach a spot in the path where it is actually too narrow for you to continue. It's only about 1 inch in diameter, and it smells so terribly of farts. And but you feel fairly certain that you have actually covered a decent distance, that you are underneath the floor of the kitchen. And it does seem like this hole like furrows downward into what you know to be the cellar. There is a door to the cellar in the kitchen. And you feel fairly confident that whatever this thing was it may have come from there. As you ascend, you hear Taj's apology, and you attempt to chill touch him again, but you fail. And that failure is so overwhelming when you're in this tiny hole full of farts. And as you emerge into the main hall, I think you are crying again, cartoonishly big tears that seem comically large, like as big as your eyes, if not bigger. It's kind of crazy that much moisture even comes out of you. And you see, as Mario is speaking with Hadrian, you see two more figures come into the room. You see Lord Montague, who is the same age as the Capulettes, about 60 years old. He is 4 inches shorter than his son. He is a Harlequin rabbit, so he has these bright white and black splotches all over his body and many earrings. He's festooned in the most unreasonable costume you've ever seen in your life. It does not look like he's dressed for a wedding. It looks like he's dressed for, I don't know, art, sex, orgy, carnival. And behind him is his 5'11" half-elf wife. Who she is just towers above him and all of the rest of the bunnies. She is a delightfully fat woman, very cute in the face, winged eyeliner that could cut through glass, and she has her hair done, her dark brown hair done in an updo, and she looks so bored. And you watch Lord Montague approach his son in a very gregarious way, just being like, "Oh, son of mine, are you ready to be wed?" And
Mario's the family resemblance.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Full of readiness to be wed. Hey, Moxie.
And Moxie, his stepmother, says, "Yeah, what's up? It's like fucking 8 a.m. Are you fucking for real? Where is the princess? Is she not here?"
I feel like you ought to have a better attitude about your son being married.
He's not my son. she cups her mouth like you don't know. She's like, hey, I don't know if you know this. He is like not mine. Whatever. I'm gonna go stand outside and smoke. And you hear Lord Montague say, "Anything for my Moxie!" And she says, "Yeah, okay." She walks outside with a click of Kitten Hills.
Where's weird Uncle Steve?
Oh my God. Is he like... Okay, hold on. Do you fucking know who he's related to?
To find him.
Okay, I don't know. First of all, weird that you're asking me.
I
Could
turn
not be
away,
less
turn
related
away
to
from her
anybody in this
and look
family.
at Montague. Where's weird Uncle Steve?
What a wondrous question. I have no idea. He's not mine.
Fuck. And I walk away and I start looking for Uncle Steve.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me an investigation. Rosaline, what are you going to do?
I'm trying to smell him.
Okay. Roll me an investigation with advantage.
I'm smelling for sulfur. What? I don't know.
Go to Montague, and I pull
Mercutio.
Mercutio.
It's an M word.
Yeah. And I pull at him, and I use my big eyes, and I'm physically motioning for follow me.
Yes. Mercutio, Rosaline kind of zips up to you and starts pulling on you for you to follow her.
Okay. I cast prestidigitation on her so she's no longer covered in slime.
Oh,
and doesn't smell like
nice.
farts.
And she feels so much better all of a sudden. Her eyes light up and she looks at you.
You did a great job.
And she blushes and goes, "Aw, shucks."
Yeah, Hadrian, you see Rosalind, are you trying to pull Mercutio towards the kitchen?
Yes.
Yeah, you see Taj is sniffing around. You can see that both bride and groom appear to be fielding their parents, so to speak. This might be the only gap that you get to try and search for whatever it is that your compatriots are kind of honing in on.
Okay, great. Well, it sounds like Mercutio and Rosaline are searching in or towards the cellar, so I will support Taj in the hunt for Weird Uncle Steve.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check as well.
I got a 16.
Okay.
I got a 4.
A 4. Okay.
I close my eyes and start following my trunk around.
Yeah. Hadrian, you instantly elect to not do your own work here. You kind of look around and you're like, screw this, and you just start following Taj. Taj, your nose brings you in the same direction as Rosaline is drawing Mercutio. You actually almost run into each other in the doorframe of the kitchen. Your nose is drawing you towards the wooden cellar door that leads underneath the kitchen.
Oh.
Something, Rose, was that where the small mouse hole led you to?
She nods and like a bunch of loud tinkles happen.
Okay.
I am sorry.
She throws another chill touch at you.
Amazing.
That's a 16.
That does hit.
Okay.
That's a 7.
Jeez.
Yeah,
It's a good
Taj,
thing
as you
I am such a tank. Oh,
as you-
not 70.
you
7.
apologize, and you see Rosaline's little face scrunch up with absolute fury, and she hurls a little chill touch at you, and you feel like a ping of cold like race through your entire body. Very uncomfortable, and you take damage.
I guess I deserve that. Could you please not do it again? Because I need to kill whatever did.
She ignores you and like spins off in a huff towards the direction.
Would you like me to open that cellar door for you? It's
And
about
she, like-
16 times your size.
And
She moves
strength.
to the side and crosses her arms and then like nods once and like still pointedly ignores you.
Does one of you two want to tell these people to stay the fuck out of my way?
Have I been on the island the longest?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I
so
believe you have.
we're all in the kitchen now, right?
Yes. Although the kitchen door leads to the main hall, so you still have a view of them.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll to see if I can hold it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me a wisdom save.
I did not hold it together.
Yeah. You are as Taj is kind of leaning over the cellar door, and you realize you may be about to face the person who hurt Odinine. You feel your heartbeat is picking up, and you're having trouble breathing. And you look out at Yulia and her family, and Mario and his, and you just feel like this shortness of breath, this numbness of body. And Yulia looks over at you, and she says,
Are you okay?
How close is she to me?
she's probably about 20, 30 feet away from you.
Through the door?
Yeah.
I slammed the door shut.
You slammed the door shut. Taj, you open the cellar door, and your fellow acolytes follow you in. You guys walk down the cellar steps, I think in a hurry. It is pretty dark down here. Not dank. It's not 420.
But
It's
Mario's been down there smoking fantasy
that's
weed.
right. No, it's not too bad down here. It's definitely darker than it is above ground because there are no windows down here. But it's well kept, it's orderly, and you can see that it is lit by holy torchlight. You know that Odinine lit these torches with a flame that neither burns the wood around you or it goes out. And so as you step down the stairs towards kind of into this wine cellar, usually what is kept down here is surplus supplies, any shelf-stable food, wine. That Lord Montague arrived with a huge number of fireworks, which are all being kept down here in boxes. But as you hurry down the stairs, you all hear distant arguing, and you all smell this kind of vague funk of sulfur. Are you guys attempting to be stealthy?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I'm not. Anyway.
Okay, yeah. Taj is going down those stairs. Is anybody attempting to be stealthy?
I mean, if there's an
I will
elephant,
attempt to be stealthy.
if there's an elephant not being stealthy, I'm not sure what the point of the rest of us being stealthy.
I'm the distraction. I'm gonna go.
I got a
first.
9.
Yeah.
I tripped down the stairs.
Okay. Taj is the elephant in the room, so to speak.
In more
Hadrian,
ways than
you don't attempt to be stealthy either. That is A-okay. You guys, I imagine are really kind of bolstered by the fire in you that is driving you to stop whoever it is who hurt Odinine, who cannot have possibly left the island because there's only one way off, and it's the ferry, which is hours away from arriving. You rush down these stairs and you hear in the distance somebody arguing, and you don't hear the other side of the argument. You just hear somebody saying, "Well, that's absurd. Why would you do it that way? Don't make that face at me. I know what you mean by that face." You guys rush down the stairs, and in front of you, you see a human man. You saw this guy when he arrived. He kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in a family full of bunnies. He is of average height and build, about 5'8", short king, and with a kind of mousy brown hair and beard, and these kind of thick, round glasses on his face that kind of always have a sheen over them. The light seems to catch in them that makes it so that you kind of can't see his eyes. And he is wearing a cloak of blood red. And as you run down the stairs into the room, he spins around, and at his feet, you see a sort of collection of what looks like about the size of like a cantaloupe, like 9 of them. These like little wobbling green oozes. And as he spins around to look at you, you see him cast a spell. And you four are looking at somebody who looks like Odinine. He doesn't appear to realize that you caught him earlier. He spins around and he says, "Hello, how can I help you? You're all up early."
I'm charged straight in and try to tackle him.
He immediately takes a very quick running steps back from you to create distance, and he drops the illusion.
Keep chasing and try to tackle him.
Hey! Let's not get crazy. I'm uncle to the bride and groom.
Ain't nobody's uncle.
No, you don't know that.
I'm gonna take your head off.
Oh, no, don't be like that.
I cast blindness and deafness.
Before you do,
Yes.
since I haven't had you roll initiative, and you haven't even let me do my big evil speech yet,
Okay, sorry.
he wards you off. He points at you in a way that kind of
always
makes
time
you
for me to speak.
you feel very seen.
Yeah.
He says,
Now. You're all acolytes of Valine, aren't you? Goddess of love?
Not the goddess of forgiveness.
Sometimes love hurts.
That's a very good catchphrase. You know, I find this whole sordid affair very annoying, you know? Love and all its pithiness. Don't you guys get tired of love? You all used to, not you, maybe. He points at you, Rose. But the rest of you have known the glory of combat. You can see what I'm trying to do here, can't you? If these two families stop getting on the table, if these two families stop fighting,
The world becomes a better place.
think about how boring life will be.
I fought everyone and everything for all of my life, and the only peace I knew was here, and you're trying to take it away, mate. I'm going to have your head. Did you hurt Odinine?
Now, hurt is...
Hill.
Yes, but you have to understand.
I attack him.
As you do, you see he kind of waves his hand, and you see three of these slimes kind of coalesce as he gestures to them, and he says, "All right, well, you leave me no choice. I didn't want to take over this temple and impersonate you all and make sure to sabotage this wedding. I did. You're on to me. But I can't let this happen. You have to understand, the world needs conflict."
I understand that you're about to be in two pieces on the floor.
All right. Well, in that case, and he waves his hand, and you see three of these oozes glom together and sort of rise up, now on two legs, approximating his height. And he says, "Two more then," and kind of doffs his hat. And everybody go ahead and roll me initiative.
Oh, I don't have the barbarian thing right now.
Okay, I've got 21 for Rose,
17.
17 for Mercutio.
I just nat 20, baby. It's 24 with my bonus.
Very nice. Hadrian's got a 24.
It's always the melee characters that get low initiative.
Alrighty. And Taj going sixth.
Go all the way.
All the way
It's
to
fine.
bottom.
It's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm already down some hit points, for no reason.
Yeah. So no
Oh my
worries.
god, the look on
Consequences.
Kaya's face.
Not no reason.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Says
Some
Rose.
reason. It's true. Okay.
Okay. These three have combined. All right. You four are facing Weird Uncle Steve and his 9 now. Let's say there's six spawn. 3 of them just conjoined into this one big spawn. Go ahead, everybody. Before we start, you can roll me Arcana, Nature, or History to see if you can discern what these oozes are.
Well, I have a
12.
bonus on none of those, so
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I'll just roll it.
14.
I got a 15.
Okay. Did you choose what thing you're rolling in? Adrian?
I'll go history since it's on theme with my my halfling history, supposedly.
Okay.
Nature, I guess. I don't know. It's maybe, oozes are sort of watery, and maybe I saw them on my ship. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's call it nature.
Let's call it nature, and you got a
14.
14. Kaya?
12 nature.
Nature. And Monk?
15 Arcana.
Okay. For Rose and Taj, you both rolled nature. You know through your interactions with the natural world, these are certainly a type of ooze or slime. You've never seen slimes combine like that. In the past, you've seen slimes disassemble, splitting into more than one. And you wonder, I think, if that's what happened to these slime, if when they attacked Odinine, she was too strong and split them into this many pieces when she responded. Odinine was not necessarily, she was above a civilian. She was not necessarily a very strong cleric, but she did have natural gifts from Aline, who she was a direct descendant of. And so you wonder if these have been split into these 9 pieces and are now combining back to their original form, which you would imagine, based on their consistency, was what attacked Odinine. And you also remember, Rose, that they specifically targeted her face and head, though you can't necessarily understand why. They must have some kind of attack that focuses on that.
Good thing I can breathe through my trunk.
Yes. Ben, what did you rolled? Did you roll history?
I rolled history, and it was a 15.
Okay. And Monkey rolled Arcana.
15, yes.
Yeah. So Mercutio, you also recognize these as a type of slime. You know that slimes generally go for a encompass their foe a strategy to attacking. They are otherwise fairly slow and usually dumb. You can sense that this is where the smell of sulfur is coming from. But as you see them combine in this way and move towards you, you sense that there is something very weird about these magically. These do not have the magical resonance of something that lives naturally on this plane. They have the kind of unnatural aura. It just kind of raises something in the hair and on the back of your neck. You feel like these are an aberration of some kind. Ben, Hadrian, you know from the histories. You have a vague memory of something like this, a slime that was not a slime, oddly intelligent, that targeted the head and face of its victims to absorb their memories. And as you think that, you see this creature kind of swirl, and you see in this strange, almost like oobleck of their head, you see them attempt to take the form of Odinine's face. And you are easily able to connect what must have happened. They must have attacked Odinine when she was alive, attempting to take her memories so that they could impersonate her. Let's go ahead at the top of the round. Hadrian, that is you. You are in, I'm going to say, a 60-foot by 60-foot square. The room is organized with the stairs at the back. There are 4 columns at the corners of the room. You are facing off against Weird Uncle Steve and the 9 spawn that surround him, 3 of which have just grouped together to become the same kind of height and build as him. And behind him and to either side are boxes of supplies. You can actually see, go ahead and roll me a perception check real quick.
Okay, perceiving. Oh, that's a 19. I've perceived well.
Yeah, you got them eagle eyes. Hadrian, you look past him. You can see behind Uncle Steve are the boxes of fireworks that Lord Montague brought with him.
Okay.
And it is your turn.
So they're in the middle of the room and I'm at the edge, so they're within 30 feet.
You are at the base of the stairs. You are approximately, they are, I think Taj rushed in. And so Taj is within 10 feet of Weird Uncle Steve, kind of surrounded by these spawn. You can tell me what distance you got from the stairs. I will definitely say you were within 30 feet. You're at like kind of the halfway point of the room.
Okay, great. So basically I'm going to use my movement to go right up in there as I make a fearsome speech. Weird Uncle Steve.
The fiercest intro.
A plague on your house. You have killed Our Lady Audenine, and you will pay for this dastardly act. Nothing will stop this marriage and the bridge being built between the two sides of Split Isle. The world needs love. And in order for that to live on this land, we've got to take the hate of you out of it. And I'm going to cast a level 2 Thunder Wave right in the middle of all of these oozes and Weird Uncle Steve. So everyone has to take a con 13, a 13 con save.
Okay. He's
Am I in
gonna
that?
roll.
Is it hitting me?
Yes. He's going to roll. And also, I'm going to roll for the oozes.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh no.
8.
Ooh.
Okay. Steve got an 11 and
Wait, isn't con one of your proficient saves?
Yeah,
Yep.
I rolled a 3.
and his spawn get a 12, so they both fail as well.
Oh wait,
Let-
the spawn is counting as one creature here. Okay.
I am counting the swarm all together just to save us on time. They all roll together, and so does Steve. So they both fail. Mercutio and Rose, it is up to you whether you are behind Hadrian when he does this or not. Are you in?
Definitely behind.
Okay. Rose, are you as well?
Rose is probably with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two are together behind Hadrian as he makes this gallant speech and does this thunderwave. Hadrian, this thunderwave moves out from you. Can you read us through what the effects of thunderwave are?
Yes, indeed. So everyone is taking 13 damage and is getting pushed 10 feet away from me. So since I'm in the center, all of these slimes are presumably
Ow.
getting kind of blasted outward, and Weird Uncle Steve is getting blown back onto the firework crates, hopefully,
Yeah.
presumably. And so, yeah, basically there's a roaring effect. The war gong that I wear on my back is also resonating with the sound of the thunder wave. And
Nice.
yeah, basically everyone's mildly deafened. And yeah, that's the effect of a rousing speech and an effective spell.
Hell
You blow these spawn and Steve away from you. He crashes into the crates of fireworks behind him. And he takes how much damage?
Everyone is taking 13. I'm not sure what type of damage it is yet, but thunder damage. It's thunder damage. Yeah. That makes sense.
You blow these slimes away from you, and as you do so, you can hear them kind of squeal and pop. And they land a good distance away. Excellent, holy! They land a good distance away from you. Do you do anything else? That's your action, bonus action, and bonus action and movement.
Oh, right. Fun with Zoom for lasers.
Lasers. No, I think my work here is done for this round.
Perfect.
Everyone.
All right. That is Hadrian. Next up is Rose. Mercutio, you are going to be next up. You are on deck.
I'm gonna do my spores wild shape.
Yeah. So you call upon this deep kind of feral resource. Where do you go to make sure that they are kind of encompassed in this?
I fly forward. towards
you fly over to
Weird Uncle Steve.
Weird Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
You fly over. Weird Uncle Steve is crashed into the wooden crates of fireworks behind him. You zip over so that you are in his space, and you deploy this kind of feral energy clustered deep in your little fairy heart. And the invisible spores that surround you, you infuse them with what feeling are you feeling as you channel into
the
them?
rage and grief that she has ever felt ever.
It's Ghost Rider's penance stare.
And it flares out of you. This resource that you have seen Taj call on over and over and over, you find it in yourself, and you let this big feeling explode out of you. I believe that does 1d4 necrotic damage, does it not?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
2.
Okay, Steve kind of pulls his head up as you fly towards him. These gleaming glasses of his, like refusing to bear his eyes to you, slightly cracked in one side as you zip up to him and release this flare of energy, this plume of spores, and he goes, "What are you?" I'm allergic, and starts sneezing uncontrollably. And he's going to go ahead and take that 2 necrotic damage. Okay, you have moved. That is your action. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
Move away.
Do you have the ability to do that without taking an opportunity attack?
She had to get within 10 feet for the spore to hit, right?
She did. Did you not get close? You didn't really get all the way up in his face?
No, I got up in his face.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So if you do want to move back, I think you do still have movement left to do so.
You're a tiny creature, though, so he has disadvantage on his attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay.
I run away and try and hide.
Okay. So before you do that, let me roll. Oh, it can't be much worse than that. Yeah. What's your AC? Is 14?
Yeah.
That's going to be a 12. So he swipes at you with his dagger, and Rose, you can see that there is dried blood on it as you zip away, and you're going to try to hide.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
Oof.
Yeah, 6.
Okay. That sounds about right, because you're not a rogue. All right. Next up is Mercutio.
How far away is Weird Uncle Steve from me?
Weird Uncle Steve is 30 feet from you.
Damn it.
I played pretty fast and loose with those movement rolls for Kaya, just because she's my favorite and I love them.
So can he be 25 feet from me?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool.
We only got 30 minutes left of this bitch.
So
we got to make this combat move fast.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run all the way up to him. I'm going to touch his glasses and cast light.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, go for it. You sprint up to Weird Uncle Steve, where he is kind of collapsed. He's prone against these crates, and you poke him in the glasses and you cast light.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and walk me through that.
So I bound up to him and I say, everyone else here may be blind to your actions, and now you shall be too. And poke on the glasses.
Yeah. You go ahead, you touch his glasses, and they immediately gleam with this kind of ethereal light just right in his eyes. And he goes, "What are you? This is worse than this was. Oh my god." Yeah.
You're getting my optometry bill.
And then I'm going to you got away. Okay. So I'm going to if he's prone and he's blind, does he have an attack of opportunity on me?
No, he's already used it.
Reaction.
So
Okay, cool. Actually, I still got a bunny hop away. So I'm going to bunny hop away. So I do a backflip 10 feet.
Yep.
I back up another 5 feet. So I guess I'm right in front of Taj now.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, I thought I was right up in his face.
Oh.
You are right up in his face.
Took damage from that thunder wave.
You
so
did.
I think you have now left me a little bit behind. No, it's all
You're
good.
10
I'm
feet
where
away,
I should be.
so he could 10 feet hop to you, I think.
So if you're 10 feet away, I'm going to try to jump on Taj's shoulders again.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Yeah.
Bunny hop up there. And
Bunny
then
hop up there.
I say, Aline, through your love, you also have a fiery passion, sacred flame. And I cast sacred flame.
Can you do that as a bonus action?
That's my action.
That's your action.
Light
Light
was
is
my bonus action. Yeah.
Oh my
snap.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Boy, Taj, you're right up in
Succeed
it.
on a dex saving throw.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's the fireworks. I'm hitting the
He's
fireworks.
also prone. You're trying to hit the fireworks, are you not?
So
Okay.
there's
Oh,
no save against the. Sorry, Taj.
Yeah, Taj, you're about to experience
This is what
some
happened.
things,
Well, I
huh?
do have advantage on dex effects that I can see.
You do.
Well,
Definitely gonna
wait,
see
hold
that.
on. Is it while I'm raging? No, it's while I'm not blind, deaf, or incapacitated.
You are neither blind, deaf,
Perfect.
nor incapacitated. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I guess I'm rolling damage against the crate.
Yeah, the crate's gonna go ahead and roll me. Sacred Flame is a saving throw, is it not?
Yeah, it's dex save.
Okay. I'm gonna say they don't have decks
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
crates. So yeah, go ahead. You
might be a
definitely
real Dexy
hit.
crate.
Go ahead and roll damage. You're trying to ignite the fireworks inside, right?
7.
Okay. You as you attack the crates that Steve has crashed into, you cast this sacred flame, calling on your connection to Aline, and you hear as they ignite, you hear the kind of lit fuses. You have a sense that something's gonna go off real soon. Is that the end of your turn?
And then I'm going to take my last 5 feet to jump down behind Taj.
Okay, you jump down behind Taj. That makes sense. Okay, it is Steve's turn. He's going to use his movement to stand up. Let's see, what is he going to do?
It's only half his movement if he needs to, or if he wants to
Yeah.
get close.
Yeah,
to me.
he's gonna use half his movement to stand up, and he looks around, tries this. The tears are streaming down his eyes. He's like, okay, all right, and he lashes out at you, Taj, and he says, "If I go down, you go down with me." And he's gonna try to cast Hold Person on you.
Oh fuck.
Let's see. Go ahead and roll. That is going to be a Wisdom saving throw.
15.
Ooh.
15 clears it. Taj, Steve attempts to
goodness.
hold you in place, and you feel this kind of rigor go through your body, and you shake it off. And he can sense that he hasn't done it, and you see his breath kind of catch in his chest, and he starts sprinting away. He's going to try to run past you. You get an opportunity attack on him.
Well, I'm not raging, so it can't be reckless, but 15 plus 21.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, he's gonna take the once formerly broom just like snaps up, and I'm trying to basically gut him on the upswing.
Okay.
14.
Jesus.
10 on the die plus 4.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Yeah, you swing upwards, you cut into him, and you see him stagger, bleeding plentifully on the ground.
Where do you think you're running to?
Very spooky. That is going to be the end of his turn. Let's see. You see the spawn are going to go next. You see this weird, like,
it's almost all torso and then these weird spindly ooze legs and then like the tiniest possible head that keeps kind of like poking up like a turtle head into like a full size head and then back and then up. Does not know how to walk like a person. But it is going to go after, let's see. It's going to go after you, Mercutio. It kind of stands up and runs towards you. And it's going to attempt to attack you. You see it kind of throw out a almost hand. It's fluid. But it grabs your head, Mercutio, and you need to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. Oh, that's not bad.
You got this.
Ooh.
You don't got
I don't know
this.
if 10's got this.
Mercutio, you feel this thing grab you. That's 3. Okay. It grabs you, and you are instantly gripped by the worst headache you've ever experienced. You're going to take 7 psychic damage, and you feel it pulling something out of your head. And as it does, Mercutio, it shrinks until it is your size. And it starts to take on your general dimensions. And you see it forming this like rabbit face. And you feel it pulling a memory out of your head of Odinine.
Mm-hmm.
What is that memory?
That memory is going to be when I first arrived on the island. It was pouring rain and it was thundering and the sea was not kind. And I ended up being seasick and just damp and soaked. And once I stepped foot onto the island, Odinine was already outside waiting for me.
Yeah.
And when I approached her, there was no rain falling around her. Mm-hmm. And she picked me up and took me inside where she helped me recover from the rain.
Yeah. You can remember how cold you felt and how warm you started to feel as soon as you were near her. And it feels like this creature is pulling that feeling away from you. It is eating your memories. Mercutio, you are going to subtract a D4 from any ability check or attack roll you make until you long rest.
Oh. Oof. Permanent bane. Fun.
That is going to be its turn. Rose, you see as several of these spawn recover, they are within 5 feet of each other. You see them glom together and form another adult sized like this kind of like torso with legs. And you see the other 3 do it as well. You've knocked them kind of all into each other, and so with their turn, they're going to glom into these creatures and start lumbering toward the rest of you. Taj, it is your turn.
All right. Well, a very simple turn, really. I'm going to rage. And I pick up the halberd again and again, like my eyes turn completely red. And I'm going to charge after him, and I'm going to recklessly attack him. Natural 20.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I really want to kill this. Not exactly a man. So that is, how do you want to play crits?
Hey, you don't even have to ask. You don't even have to ask. You do this thing. You see him. He is bent over from the terrible wound you dealt him, and you come towards him, and he goes, wait. How do you do this?
As he's looking up at me, bent in half, saying, wait, I take the halberd overhead and I slice him in half from like head to groin.
Yeah.
As you do.
You slice him lengthwise, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, I do. That,
Yeah, you
indeed.
take your halberd, and with all of this rage in your heart, you are thinking of Odinite the first time you met her. What are you thinking about?
The first time I met her, I had just washed up on the shores of this little, very small island. I was almost dead and still bleeding from all the scars that are still on my face. And I fell off my ship the night before and thought I'd drowned. And I woke up with this, the grandmother I never had looking over me in a morning sun, and just almost a halo appearing, both because she was an Asima and because of the light in her hair. And someone almost as big as me trying to pick me up and move me inside, and actually able to support, a tiny bit of my weight.
Yeah.
As she helped me inside and to a bed.
Yeah, and I think you feel what it felt like to be carried by somebody who is almost as big as you, probably for the first time that you could recall. And that space that is now left in your heart and your body from losing her just fills entirely with rage as you cleave this man straight in half.
Oh, I do that. Just for funsies. 17, 21, 25, 32.
32 points of damage. You super murder this man. You cleave into him so hard, you cleave into the floor of stone underneath him and leave a mark almost as deep as the mark you left in his body, carved into the stone floor.
And we're only level 3.
Jesus. Wow.
Weird Uncle
Bury him with a
Steve
halberd
has
hits
never in
hard.
his life been more dead.
I whip around and I glare at the little heads popping out of these things, and I go, "You're fucking next."
Okay.
And that is my turn.
That's Taj's turn. Hadrian, it is your turn with Rose and Mercutio up next.
All right, so we've got some slimes.
You
after
got
this.
some slimes. I will tell you, without even a perception check, you can tell that 2 of these creatures, the one next to Mercutio is hale and hearty looking, but the 2 that have assembled to go after the rest of you, not so much. You feel like if you did something like comparable to that thunder wave, you could take out 2 of these things for sure.
All right. Well, despite the fact that you have done this dastardly deed in conjunction with weird Uncle Steve, and sleep is too good a fate for you nonetheless, I will drive you down into oblivion. And I take the war gong off my back and I hold it aloft to the sky and ring it once, goom. And then I cast sleep on whichever one of these I can hit.
You can definitely hit. I think you are within 30 feet of all of them at this point.
Okay, great. So I'm casting sleep, and that means 5d8s.
Okay.
Count them up.
Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Boopity boopity boop.
You know I'm going to kill
it's a-
these
it's
things
a
once they're
23.
asleep, right?
I don't care what you do after I put them to sleep. As long as this bloodshed ends, I don't want to see any more violence.
Right.
So yeah,
23.
I rolled a 23 off these 5d8s.
23. Yeah, you are going to be able to put one of these things to sleep.
Okay, great. Let's see.
Okay.
All right. Well, the the gentle rest of slumber is too good for you, foul, farty slime. But whatever we've got to do to bring this battle to end.
Yeah, Hadrian, as you ring your gong, you see the sound kind of hit two of these things, and one of them, in a very like kind of freakish move of like a kind of sloughing liquid, kind of yawns and kind of like falls to the floor, and begins to kind of vibrate with snores. Hadrian, as you do this, you were thinking of Odinine the first time you met her. What are you remembering?
Hadrian is remembering the first time he stepped foot on the aisle and the way that she looked inviting, and the promise of the end of war and terrible battle. Hadrian, when he came here, had seen too much tragedy, too much death, and he wanted to end that life. And so he sees her tall self standing aloft on a rock at the edge of the shore with her clothes fluttering in the breeze, and this beautiful memory of the feeling of love and the desire to put his weapons down and make his warlike processes end.
Yeah. Hadrian, I think you are struck by like almost like imprinted on the back of your eyes, this vision of her kind of standing there waiting for you as you ring this gong and send this thing to sleep. And you feel confident that you and your fellow acolytes are going to be able to do that. And at the same time, I think there's just this deep sense of loss in you as you realize that people who come here will not experience that same feeling again unless it is one of you at the door. Mercutio, it is your turn. You are reeling. You are kind of face to face with the most hale and hearty of these things.
Yeah. And the fireworks are still lit, right?
The fireworks, hey, that is such a good point. Hold on. The fireworks are still lit. Let's go ahead and resolve that.
At the end of my turn?
It is. Let's do it at the end of your turn, Mercutio. Thank you so much for reminding me.
God, yes.
Yeah, they're going. Thank you for the Foley.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, Mercutio, it is your turn. You've lit these fireworks. Steve is dead. In like the second that he ran past you, Taj split him in half.
So I'm just covered in blood.
You are covered with blood and slime. And you are experiencing, you realize what Odinine's last moments must have been like with this thing holding your head, trying to pull memories out of you.
Is it still grappling me?
You are not grappled. You can get away.
Okay. I'm gonna bunny hop away from it. I want to put Taj in between me and it. Is that something I can do from where we are right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
So
it's going to take a swing at you as you get away from it.
Bunny hop.
Bunny hop. Bunny hop does not accrue
I can use
opportunity.
it 2 times a day.
You're so right. So you bunny hop right away from it. You do not take any damage.
And then, as much as I want to shoot it back, I can't believe I'm using this spell again, but I'm going to cast Prestidigitation on the fireworks to put them out.
To put them out?
To put them out.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
Prestidigitation says that I can put out, what did it say specifically?
Now you can do that, but I will say to you, you are definitely within range of the fireworks and they are going to blow, but you do feel that if you allowed them to go off, they might take care of the rest of these spawn for you.
Okay, so can I knock the hardiest one towards the fireworks? Or like is it behind from where I am?
You're kind of oriented where it is behind like the Hale and Hardiest slime. Do you want to like try to knock the Hale and Hardy instead of bunny hopping away?
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna use Eldritch Blast.
Go for
And
it.
I'm going to say
That's what I'm talking about.
with the force of Aline traveling through me, I shall rebuke you. And
Okay.
I go ahead and attack it.
Go for it.
21.
That is gonna hit for sure.
And then I roll damage. 12 damage, and I knock it back 10 feet into the fireworks.
Oh my God. Okay. So you hit it with this Eldritch Blast. It sizzles through the air with this like infused with celestial energy. You blast this thing back towards the fireworks. Rose, because it is your turn next, do you want to do anything to get away from the fireworks before they explode just so much?
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't done with my turn.
Okay, I just want to check in with Rose. You're going to do something to get away from these fucking bombs that are in this room, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mercutio, what do you do
I'm
with the
gonna
rest of your time?
grab Rose and run.
Friendship. All right. You, Rose, do you allow yourself to be grabbed?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I don't like being grabbed.
Mercutio,
So I'm gonna-
you swipe up at Rose trying to grab her. Do you try to say anything to convince her to go along with us?
Come with me if you want to live. I was going to go full Arnold with it.
She looks at you and then
I put my hand out.
she grabs your hand and then pulls you.
You feel these two little hands like wrap around your finger. Where are you pulling him, Rose?
Out.
Yeah, you start pulling him towards the door. We're gonna say you guys both go the rest of your movement. Taj, we're a little bit out of initiative. Do you hear Mercutio say this? Come with me if you want to live. I'm gonna give you because this is all happening in the same 6-second span. What do you want to do? Do you want to run towards them, or are you going to try to hit these spawn again and stand as kind of this bulwark?
I'm going to hit one of them as I run to the base of the stairs and stop there so they can't get past me.
Okay. You are going to hit them.
I'm absolutely going to hit it recklessly.
Go for it.
That is another natural 20.
You are fucking joking.
I know. You can look. You can even see it.
You run past. Which one are you going to attempt to hit as you run past?
Oh, the one that looks like Mercutio. That's fucking weird.
There you go. Yeah, the Hale and Hardy one that just got slammed into the fireworks.
It's not quite so good though. Okay.
Not 32 damage again?
16. 27.
Not so good.
Not that great. I've seen better.
You hit it just so fucking hard, dude. Not to invoke Mario. You as this Mercutio-shaped bunny ooze kind of goes like slaps into these lit barrels of fireworks. You slash out of it as you run out of the room, dealing massive damage. And you hear it yell, and it sounds like Mercutio, and that sends chills up your spine.
Fucking weird.
That's fucking weird. And as you reach the bottom of the stairs, these fireworks explode in a plume of color, taking out every remaining spawn. Rose, the entire room is lit up in these brilliant colors of red and purple and orange and yellow. And you are thinking of the first time that you met Odinine because it filled you with this same kind of excitement and joy. What are you remembering?
Being told that I could go wherever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then like having these spores, like my magic, just appear for the first time I didn't even know I could do anything like that. And having Odinine like celebrate with me.
Yeah.
And like be like, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to go.
Yeah. And you feel filled with that same love and determination as this calamitous boom and whizzes and bangs sounds throughout the entire building. These things are going all over the room. And you see the spawns screech and wither, sending up these huge plumes of sulfurous smelling smoke. And the four of you stand in this room as the lights finally die down with this kind of pip and the swing and the last few fireworks go off. And you hear people yelling upstairs. And all of you feel like you have just done something very good in the name of somebody who truly believed in all of you. And without whom will have without you, she will have no legacy. You are the only people here left to carry on her work. And the four of you are kind of feeling like you're kind of more in the mood for a funeral than a wedding. And that's where we're going to end it.
Let's go make these little rabbits get married. Real fast ceremony.
Real fast.
Do you? Good. Done.
Get off our island and build a fucking bridge.
A new kind of maybe tough love is
Shotgun wedding.
That's about to go to Split Island. Thank you so much, players, for playing my game.
Yay! Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you. Players, where can our listeners find you? Kaya, why don't we start
On
with
the
you?
Instagram, like everyone else.
Yeah.
You
Is
can
that
find
where everyone is?
I think, yeah. No, but you can't find me on TikTok,
That's fine.
really.
Yeah. Not unless you really look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Instagram is KAYAMEYY. Don't ask me why.
Thank you, Kaya. All right, Monk, where can people find you?
I am mostly on Facebook under MONK ENZO GALVIN. Or I rarely use my Instagram. I mainly use it for going to conventions, but that is Jet Black Cosplay.
Excellent.
Nice.
Ben, where can people find you?
I am at Ben_Rogue on Instagram. You can find all my nerdy things. I play Magic and Warhammer. And these sessions are the jewel in my nerd crown.
Excellent. Colin, where can people find you?
You can't. But you can find my cats on Instagram at NoGoodCats. And really, you can find me more often and regularly on the Roll Report Instagram and TikTok at the Roll Report Cast.
Yes, indeed. You can find me there as well. You can also find my personal Instagram, TikTok, and more at Booger Queen Draws. Everywhere that people are anything. Thank you so much to all of you for having me and to our wonderful listeners for allowing me to invade the DM chair for this week. And as we always do, a 5, 6, a 5, 6, 7, 8.
Love Island.
Love Island.
Love Island.
They're gonna build a bridge.
They're gonna do it.
Mario's gonna surf behind that ferry.
Oh, yeah, no one's gonna fall off because of the wind.
Grandma's so proud of you.
Oh.